Good afternoon, welcome back to Rangers Radio. Joining myself this afternoon, Southside, is Albert. How you doing, Albert?
No good, mate, no good.
A bit like myself, mate. What can I say? Not a very poor performance, mate. When we're talking pre-match earlier on, we're talking about things like get stuck in and fast start and get passing the ball, and a lot of that we never seen this afternoon. So bitterly disappointed, mate. And I thought if I were to pick one player, I thought who done okay, I would have said Aribo was more busier than most. But a bitterly disappointing performance, mate.
It was. I'll be honest with you, South. I'm trying to hold my temper. No, I mean, I'm not trying to get carried away or anything like that. No, I mean, it's a defeat. It's a defeat. Happens. Wipe my mouth and go on, mate, as I say. But there's certain things that need to be said about performances and the team performance and the attitude and sloppiness, and here we go again. I mean, I've said for the start of this season with the two competitive games, what beat us, while we were struggling against Livingston, and at the end they got a guy saying, if we start taking control and scoring goals, was sloppiness against Malmo and Livingston and again today. We've got to eradicate this sloppiness. We need to get into the game. We wait too long to get into a game, you know what I'm saying? We allow teams to outfight us, outmuscle us, mere determination. So we need to understand that this season, that everybody, and I mean everybody, is coming at us this season like that. And if we're not up for this, well, forget about the season right at afternoon, because we'll need to get our act together. And it's as simple as that. And we've got it in us to do it. We're just not doing it at the moment. For whatever reason, I don't know the reason. You can point fingers all day at people and say, he's not doing that, he's not doing that. McLaughlin had absolutely nothing to do. Pick the ball near the net once, and that was it. Nothing to do. Absolutely nothing. And you're sitting going, how did they beat us? Because we allowed it. They get the back of the ball. It's a lucky goal. Boy took the goal well. Give him that. But it was a lucky break. So that happens in football. But we're allowing ourselves to be in that position, but no scoring goals and creating goals, and a few players off it. What do we do? Lundstrom, I know you got to settle in, but come on, guys. I don't know what he's bringing. He's not bringing nothing to the team yet. Yeah, I'll put yet in. I don't know. I'm trying to find out what people seen in him when he was with Sheffield United. I'm yet to find anybody that really tells me what he brought to Sheffield United, because whatever it was he's bringing to them, he's certainly not bringing it to us at the moment. No, he's got to settle. He's a new player. We'll give him time, but he really needs to start bringing something to the game. You know what I mean? Alfie wasn't. About a yard off the pace, a half a yard off the pace, I would say, with Alfie. There was practically no chances created for him, know what I mean? So, what do you want him to do? You can't take a chance, he's not there, know what I mean? So, Davis tried, and in the second half especially, I think they had a word with him saying, look, you need to drag us forward. So he started dragging us forward a wee bit more. Kamara, first half especially, was trying to be too smart at times. Just play the simple ball, get the ball moving faster. As I say, Lundstrom wasn't really in the game, but he brought nothing to the game. Tav tried his heart out as usual. Golson beat Golson, sloppy. Big Helander battled away all day battled away. Barisic was crap. Lee Kent's not in the game. He just can't get in the game. I'm not saying that with a form, but his touch is not there at the moment. He's yet to get his touch, but it'll come back, because you know the boy's a player. Spoke about Alfie and Big Aribo. He tried, but his touch is not there. You can see he's off the pace as well. So all in all, I don't know why these guys are not fit. The excuse against Malmo was they've got 14 games into their season. Well, this team today I've not got 14 games into the season, and they outran us and outfought us. I don't think they're a better team, don't get me wrong. They're a better team. We should have had took something out of the game, but we didn't.
I think, if you analyse it sort of first half, they were right in about us in the first 15 minutes. We were struggling to sort of keep the ball. They were putting two up against Kent. They were surrounded in the midfield. They were overrunning us sort of. It's this 4-3-3 system. If Gerrard's going to persist with it, then we need to be able to move the ball quicker, like you're saying, and we need to be sharper. We'll come to Lundstrom and certain players probably just in the next few minutes or whatever, but I thought in the first 15 minutes they were sort of all over us and harassing us and making it uncomfortable for us. And then after that, I thought we were sort of in the game. I mean, we sort of had most of the control without really doing anything exciting. And you go into the second half, like you've said as well, they get a break of the ball and they've scored a goal. We've not done enough, certainly, in the game to get us back in it. A lot of players weren't playing to their level. Like you said, I thought Tav, pretty poor with his crossing and stuff. Pretty poor game, I thought, to be honest. I thought Hollander was the best out the back of the defence. Colston had a few shaky moments. And then the midfield, Lundstrom. I actually said something on here, Albert, about a week or 10 days ago, and I thought Lundstrom would probably take over for Arfield. I'll be honest, after watching his display today, I think if he's going to play in that midfield, he has to get himself up the park and in the box. Because if I look like Arfield, a fit Arfield in that team can make the runs into the box.
Yep,
he was too deep all day with Davis and Kamara. And if you're looking at the three midfielders today, then there's no many of them that's getting into the box, busting in or making the runs that Arfield don't make when he was fit.
Well, I said that before the game, and also, see, Alexa, you're right. See that with Lundstrom, I said that's the first time he's played with Alfie. So Alfie will hold the ball. He needs to break by Alfie and get into the box and make their runs. You know what I mean? Look, like Arfield, you're right, like Arfield is, right? He was in the box twice, I think, today. He doesn't really. I'm not saying that this defeat was solely down to him. I don't think I'm more, but it hardly looks as if he's breaking sweat at times. To me, you're going, what is it you're doing, son? Are you a ball winner? Are you a box-to-box player? Are you a playmaker? What do you actually bring to the game? I don't see anything he brings to the team we had for last year. I don't think he improves it, put it that way. Not at the moment, anyway. Somebody might correct me on this.
I think it's... we've got to agree, Albert, that it's early, right? He's just came into the squad, but you need to be up and running. Stevie G's picked him. I just think, looking at the game today, and I was looking at the midfield, and I thought, it's so much of a muchness in there, There's nobody busting into the box. Like Arfield will make that run. Now, obviously, Scott Wright came on second half and added a difference on the right-hand side, a bit more direct. So, looking at his performance today, I thought Stevie Davis done well in spells, but I just think we were second to a lot of balls out today in the midfield, and there's times when we did control the game and we managed to get some passing together, but overall I just thought it was a really poor performance. I thought Ryan Kent just struggled today from start to finish. I could see when he sort of took that knock, when he tried to jump in and jumped into the boy's back and cut his mouth, but he struggled today, so that wasn't happening for us. And like I say, Borna wasn't getting done. A lot of the deliveries into the box were poor as well today. I think you'll agree with that.
Well, Borna Barisic, I said he was crap. He was crap all day, you know what I mean? Defending and going forward. I mean, I don't understand. One of the things I don't understand about him is we designed that team to get him all that space down that left-hand side. And why he's no screaming and demanding that ball, I'll never know. Because he's standing out there in acres of space. If it was me or anybody else, you'd be standing there screaming, give me the ball. But he just stands there and you're going, why are you no shuriken him? Why are you no getting into their bodies and saying, look, I'm over here. If you're wanting an out ball, I'm your out ball. Give me the thing. But then again, a couple of times he got it. Merlin a couple of times he got it. And then he decides to slow down and let the guy close him down. And you're going, no, whip the ball in early. Whip the ball in early. The forwards know you're going to whip that in early. They'll make their runs earlier. But they knew you've got them thinking, there's no point of getting in there too early because he's not going to put that ball in. So you're actually contributing to your own downfall here by slowing the play right down. But we never get our passing game the day going. It was lethargic, slow. It's when Golson starts that pricking on the ball, his fellow centre half. I keep saying to everybody, see right early in the game, that's the pass you look at. If he trickles that ball half-hearted across, you know they're going to play in walking pace. But if he pings the ball, you know right away we're up for the game. That's why I judge it every game I watch Golson's first pass across to Helander or Balogun or whoever's there, Cattage, whoever's there. Just watch the speed of that pass, and that tells you everything you want to know how we're going to play today. Because I'm telling you right now, that guy's head's on his contract. Same as Kamara, heads are on their contract. I knew this would become an issue. I knew it would become an issue if it didn't get sorted before the ball was kicked, and it's now an issue. There you are, your first defeat. You were always going to get a defeat. Let's not kid ourselves on you. You can't win every game. That's impossible. But, hey, to get beat the day, and don't get me wrong, if we get beat any day, you'd have probably said the same thing, but I think we contributed to our own downfall, guys. Really, honestly, truly.
Can I just say, guys, if you're phoning the show, we know you've called in and we'll call you back. So if you don't keep phoning back, we can't get you on the show. So just to let you know, guys, okay? Aye, Albert, I agree with what you're saying. I thought Golston pretty shaky today. I'm not going to absolutely give him a down, but a lot of people on the show know my feelings on Golston. I think last season he was outstanding for us. I think it was a wonder season for him, in my book, in just my opinion. I think what you seen today, he's always got in his locker. Even at the end, try to let the ball roll out for a goal kick. And Nicky Clark caught him. It's just lapses, mate. Aye, and he's got that in his locker. But whether there's a contract and that's affecting him or no, but he's had a shaky start to the season. So
that's a good point. So see that what you said there about that, letting that roll out for a corner kick, right, with Nicky Clark. That one instant sums up the start of your season, the 3 games. That really sums it up. That lethargic, turn your back. It's gone out and then turn your back on it, and the player going, no, it's no, I'm going to keep chasing this. You go like that, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You wouldn't have done that last year. Why are you doing it this year? So there's something else in the guy's mind, to my opinion. Anyway, I hope there's plenty of people out there that are going to phone in. They'll tell us their point of view.
Hello.
Hi, is that you, Carol?
That's me. Who am I talking to?
South Side and Old Bear, Carol.
Right, South Side and Old Bear. Right, I've got a couple of points. You're only champions for one day. You've got to defend it. There's no use saying the big prize is Europe. The big prize is the Scottish League. And on today's performance, our midfield misses guile. There's nothing there. And if I heard about this, I've heard it a lot. Golson, he can ping a great ball over the park. It's only a good ball if it goes to a player. Otherwise, it's just out the park. And Lundstrom, for being a box-to-box player, I've not seen it. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Kent,
no.
He hasn't been great, but at the same time, he's not getting the ball. And about Barisic, I heard him in the first half. You listen back to the commentary halfway through the game, he's screaming, Steve-O, Steve-O, Steve-O. Davis puts his foot in the ball and puts it out to the right. I don't care, made a bad performance. I'm not being hypercritical, but it's not good enough. Simple as that. There was no midfield guile. And Golson, this about contracts, forget the contract. Play for your pay.
I think, Carol, like you're saying, the midfield today, just be watching the game. Obviously, we've just all watched it, so we're trying to comment on it. And obviously, sometimes I like to watch it again, and you sort of take more in at the time. But looking at it today, I just thought Lundstrom sitting on the right-hand side, he's got to get himself forward up the park. He dinked a couple.
He was mentioned twice. Southside twice. Nothing.
It's not good enough, mate. It's certainly not good enough.
And I'm a bit doubtful Tav and Golson are back to their old sort of tricks, you know. I didn't think Tav was good at all, to tell you the truth. Nobody can put in a ball. And that might come in a couple of weeks, but a couple of weeks might be too late for the Scottish League, which is more important than Europe this year, because if we win it, we're in it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
We and Albert agree with that, didn't you, Albert, that the league's the most important thing this season?
Oh, it's definitely the most important thing, especially the circumstances for next year. It's important, even if these circumstances weren't in place for next year. It's also important. The Champions League right at this moment in time for this year is important as well. But you've got to. It's not a case of picking one over the other now. It's, as I said at the beginning of the show, 14 games to set the foundation. Well, there's one of them away right away.
That's right.
That's not good enough. That's just simply not good enough. No, I don't think anybody's expecting us all to come on here and start praising Rangers. So if anybody's upset about us criticising them, criticising some of the players, well, so be it. But you've got to critique the game as you see it, and that wasn't good today, Carol. I think you'll agree with that, Paul. That just wasn't good today.
Well, that wasn't good enough. There was nothing there. There's no midfield guile. We've got 3 central midfield players. There's not one that goes forward. There's not one that can create. I like Hadji. I mean, I must admit, I'm a Hadji man, because I think the guy's got more up in his head than the rest of the team's got in their feet. You know, he thinks too far ahead. He can make a difference. He can put boys in, and he can put boys in, as we all know. He just, in Scottish football, I don't think he's for Scottish football. I think he needs a wee bit too much time.
We got asked during the week when the transfer window still open, who would we sign? And people are going on. Mine's is a midfielder, and it's a playmaker. We need a playmaker. You're right. The midfield we've got to know, even the ones that are out injured or no playing today, they're as much. They're the same type of player. So we need a playmaker. We don't need a playmaker.
We need somebody who can put their foot in the ball and pass it across, you know.
Yeah. Carol, okay, hold on a second. Carol, I think we've got Rudy. Rudy, you in?
All right, Southside, how we doing? How we doing, Albert? No happy?
Good, mate. How are you?
Honestly, mate, we're no happy, no, we're certainly no. It's early days, but there's a few things that we can certainly discuss with the performance of certain players and the team shape and stuff, certainly, mate.
I'd say so, Southside. I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought at times in that first half we were woeful. At times back to sort of comedy defending for the goal, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, we've seen that on Tuesday night. We'll sort of again in the day, and I think Albert makes a great point there about Connor Goldson, where his head's at the moment. In his interview the other day, he's banging on about how he's letting his agent and the team that look after him get on with it. He's no one to think about it. He wants to get on with playing football. Well, it doesn't look like it to me just now, so I think Albert might have a good point there. Lundstrom hasn't proved anything to me yet, and I'm sure there's quite a lot of people think that at the moment. This guy came up with a reputation being a box-to-box midfielder. Why is Ryan Kent dropping 20-25 yards to pick the ball up in the middle of the midfield? That's too far back for Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent shouldn't have to come back that far. That's Lundstrom's job as the box-to-box midfielder. That's what he should be doing. And that boy's got to up his game a wee bit for me, Southside, because what he's produced in the last 2 games is not good enough. It's as simple as that. And Carol was just saying there, and Albert was just saying, the midfield is too much of a muchness. It is. It really is. You know, you bring Ryan Jack back. What's Ryan Jack going to... I mean, he's a good player, Ryan Jack, but is he that much different to what's already there in the midfield at the moment?
No, I agree with you, Rudy. He's similar again. He's
similar to the rest of the midfielders we've already got. Now, if this is going to continue with this midfield, they seriously, before the transfer window closes, they have to look at bringing a proper playmaker in, as Albert's just been saying there. That's where this boy Joey Veerman comes in. That's what he is. So they have to seriously look at this now, because this could be a problem going forward. If we play like that on Tuesday night, there's no way we're going through Southside. There's no way. See, we have 25 minutes to go. I texted my mate and I said, it doesn't look like we're going to score here. There's about 20 minutes to go. And that shouldn't be us. That shouldn't be Rangers. We shouldn't be sitting there looking at that thinking, we're not going to score here. You know what I mean? I just thought, to be in all honesty, first half, sorry to go a wee bit Southside, I'm a wee bit rattled about this now. Right?
We're all the same. I'll wait to be quick because George VK is waiting to come in.
All right, last wee bit then, right? It's sitting there watching that today, and I have to be honest, and I have to say Dundee United were a better team in the first half. That's how it looked to me. They were a better team. They were more up for it. They were in our faces. They were chasing boys down. They were right in the faces of the Rangers players. And we were just played at such a lack of pace. We couldn't make anything work properly. Tav and Barisic, again, the day, I didn't think were great. I didn't think they were great last Tuesday. Tav's first ball at times was just dreadful. He couldn't get it any higher than 2 feet off the ground. Come on, Tav, you're better than that. We know you're better than that. You know. So anyway, there you go. Sorry, South.
No, you're all right. George, you in, pal?
Oh, I'm here. All right, Suicide. All better. How you doing?
Been better, buddy. Been better.
It's a sad day, mate, isn't it, man? I mean, at the end of the day, I thought we were sluggish, pedestrian by, man, and we couldn't put a pass together, and there was no running after the ball, man. And honestly, they won every second ball. I mean, they looked me up for it, and we did. And by the way, Albert took the words out of my mouth earlier on when he says, I think there's too many players in that team thinking about contracts. I mean, they certainly weren't thinking about the game, that's for sure. I mean, and the boy Lindstrom, honestly, the jury's totally out with that boy, man. I don't see it, man, honestly. And see that, by the way, see that tackling thing, mate, with that Mulgrew? That was a red card. He was last man. Aye, he was like, he should have been off the park for that.
Look at it. I thought there was a defender near him. Maybe he might have caught me or five, 6 strides. I don't know. But that aside, George, the performance was poor. What
it was, mate, man. They looked up for it. He did 100%.
What I would pick to you, George, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, right? But see, we playing in Europe on the Tuesday, being away and then coming back and playing 12:30 Saturday, right? Obviously,
I know. I mean, it's brutal.
There's no great recovery time in it, right? And I'm not trying to make an excuse, but you will see it when we get into the Champions League group stages, when we come back for Europe. It's always the same. You've got to teams raise their game, but I think their plan was, what surprised us was they came out straight away and harassed us right from the start and knocked us off our stride for the first 15 minutes.
They definitely did. And by the way, you could see there was no running after the ball. They were searching for somebody for a pass and they couldn't find somebody to pass the ball. You know what I'm talking about? And Tavernier had a nightmare today. So did Golson. I thought so anyway. And as I say, that Lindstrom, I just don't know about him at all. I've not seen anything in that player, man. I say myself, he's a quality player.
But do you not think, Southside, that from Tuesday night till the day, that's long enough to get yourself prepared for a game against Dundee United? I mean, they're no Barcelona at the end of the day.
I'm not trying to use it as an excuse. All I'm saying is, when you've travelled, you've played a game in Europe, you're coming back, you really have to be on it. You know, you've seen some performances last year in the Europa League after we come back. We struggled in a couple of games. We still won them, but we struggled. You know, and we're early in the season. Lundstrom, I can't make an excuse on here tonight for Lundstrom. You know, Stevie G will have to stand up and say why you put him in the team, and obviously he'll explain the team where he thinks they should have done better. Aye.
You know what you get worried about? See when you see Stevie Gerrard sitting down the bench with his horns in his face. That's a bad sign.
Aye. I looked at it and it looked timely. Don't get me wrong. I think we missed somebody like Hadji today.
Totally.
You know, he's not everybody's cup of tea. I like him as a player. I think he's intelligent.
So
I think he can play. He can see passes that other players don't see. I believe he falls out the games.
Well, to put it this way, right? You've got 3 players out for last year, really. Arfield, Jack and Hadji. Now, take the 3 players one at a time. Is Lundstrom, the way he's playing at the moment, better than Hadji?
No.
Is he better than Jack? No. Is he better than Arfield? No. What they 3 own their own games and their fitness up and playing at their best. Lundstrom's nowhere near the 3. And he's brought in as a first-team player, by the way. He's not brought in as a squad player. He's a first-team player. Right, so I'm saying to myself, right, okay, we'll give you time, but how much time do we give you? Because at the end of the day, I think it was Carol that said, if you're not up and running in the next couple of weeks, by the way, this league could run away for you quite easily if you keep putting performances listen. So I'm looking at the boy. I looked at the boy at Sheffield. I watched one game in Sheffield and I watched a couple of 10 minutes, 20 minutes here, there and a few other games. And I honestly didn't see it. I'm saying I don't see what I'm really seeing in this boy. I really don't. And then when we were after him all the time, you pay a bit more of attention. And I'm going, still don't see what this boy brings to a team. What is it he does that's so brilliant? I don't see it. So Stephen Gerrard said he's a player. Everybody, the background staff are saying he's a player. I'm going to somebody tell me, if anybody out there can tell me what the guy's position is, what he brings to the team, because I would love to know.
Albert, do you think the pace of the game shocked him enough?
Oh, you might be, George, you might be right, because it's shocked a few people that come up here. Joey Barton come up here and thought he was going to boss
no doubt about it. Then he can come up here and stall it, man. They don't realise it's faster up here than it's down there.
I mean, the day Dundee United made him look very, very, very ordinary, he's going, that's the calibre. And they're not even one of the better teams in the league. They're not even one of the better teams in the league.
I know, man.
You're sitting going,
after the game,
hey, hold on, guys. We've got Jordan. You there, Jordan?
I am here, guys. All right.
How you doing, pal? What do you think after the day's performance, buddy?
Well, I'm recovering now because I've tested positive for COVID the other day. So we get beat today and I've got COVID. So there's a weekend for me.
Aye.
I'm not going to stand next to you in a thunderstorm this week, I'll tell you that.
No, I think the problem for me today is I think we've got different players at different fitness levels, which I think has contributed to a lot today. And I think it really is scary how much we miss Ryan Jack in that midfield. And as I say, for me, Lundstrom doesn't cut it too much. But I just think massive improvement is going to be needed for Tuesday night. But I don't know what everyone's opinion is, but I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on with the squad. If they've come back, just think, we'll just throw it again this season. He talks about, the crowd are back and there's going to be more pressure. But it was just to really see what everyone's thoughts was, because I don't think it's going to be as straightforward this season as it was last season. I doubt that very much. We need to realise here that this is, we've still got a bit of work to do at the end of the day, and a kick up the backside really needed, to be fair.
Aye, Jordan. I think Gerrard's trying to find his best team or the new. Obviously, with Roof and Kamara, obviously been out in the European one, it might have affected. He might have obviously Roof was out for thing reasons today, but I don't know. I think some of them have come back, and if they're wanting to rest on their laurels for last year, well, that's finished. They had the wonder season. The defence done well. Everybody done well. They were all heroes. But they were only heroes for that season. It's time to prove it again this season. So what do you think of that, Rudy?
Yeah.
Be counted, isn't it?
I've got to. I mean, Stephen Gerrard came out after Tuesday night. You heard him in the post-match interview when he says 6 or 7 of them is going to have to up their game. Well, if they level the day then, if that was the case. No, if they didn't take that as a warning shot across the bow to say, look, I didn't perform very well, I'm going to have to up my game a bit. I didn't see that today if that was the case. So no wonder Stephen Gerrard was sitting there and he's probably thinking, I said, what are this lot doing? Because what you've just said there, Southside, is 100% right, mate. We can't continue like this because you get into there's 3 competitive games and we've lost 2 of them. All right, Tuesday night, you're thinking, right, okay, we get that last second goal. We can get that mob back to Ibrox. We've got the quality in the side. We'll get players to come back. I thought Joe Aribo the day wasn't too bad, so maybe he'll get a run out on Tuesday night. But it's just very lackadaisical. They were the same on Tuesday night. Southside. They were the same performance for me. So it isn't much different. But there's players in the team they know, and as Albert was pointing out about Goldson, Kamara's another one. These boys need to decide if they're going to want this contract or not. If they don't want the contract, just come out and say they don't want to sign it. I mean, they've had long enough to sign it now. Get it out the way.
I think contracts aside, because, I think...
They were the same in Tuesday night. Southside. They were the same performance for me. So it isn't much different. But there's players in the team they know, and as Albert was pointing out about Goldson, Kamara's another one. These boys need to decide if they're going to want this contract or not. If they don't want the contract, just come out and say they don't want to sign it. I mean, they've had long enough to sign it now. Get it out the way.
I think we've got another caller.
Excuse me, Southside, can I come back in a wee minute? Just a minute.
Aye, carry on, you go.
Right, you were saying it's pretty brutal to play on Tuesday and then play on Saturday. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
We were in Europe last year, and if you want to get into the Champions League, get used to it. That's the use.
Carol, I did say it. I said I'm not using it as a big excuse. I'm just saying for the way they started against us, when we've had the game on the Tuesday night, which is things we need to get rid of, which we were used to last season, and when we were flowing in the Europa League, we were playing. There's games when we didn't play well after it. So I'm just saying, we're playing on Tuesday night and then having the game Saturday, early season. Was it a factor how they started against us and we didn't get settled for there? You know, that's what I'm saying.
But you've got to remember that Malmo got a week off before it. Premier League. That's something we're never going to get, you know.
No.
So,
no.
I mean, I just don't understand. We were bad. We've been bad all season. We're no great. Against Livingston, okay. You know, okay, it wasn't a great performance either, by the way. A lot of times in that match we weren't much good either. You know, it's all right passing the ball square across the park. We got a 3-0 win. But against Livingston, I don't reckon that at Ibrox. And the fans being back is not always a good thing. You can hear it the night on your show. Listen to us.
Yeah, we're a hard crowd to please at the best.
You're very right.
At the moment, by the way, guys, we're toothless.
I think we've got Bear. I think Bear's in the...
Right, excuse me, Southside, I'm off. By the way, I want to hear the rest of your show. Bye.
Right, thanks, mate. You in, Bear?
Southside, I'll drop out and on me, right?
Right, George, okay, thanks, mate.
Right, Mark, you bother, you take care, bud.
See you, mate.
How you doing, Suicide, all right?
All right, pal.
Is Big Rudy still on the channel?
Aye, still in here, mate.
Still here, Bear, yeah.
Good to hear from you, mate.
You too, Bear. Are you doing well? Are you okay, bud?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good.
Good.
I'd just like to put my wee Tuppenworth in for the day. I think, first of all, I'd say that I think that the management team used the day as a bit of a training exercise for Tuesday and trying to get guys fit that maybe on the up to it. I think that's came back and bit us in the arse. And first and foremost, I don't think we really deserved any more than what we got in that game. I thought we're poor. But you can start obviously going through the team and start asking, who we're going to point the finger to. First of all, I'd like to talk about Lundstrom. I think there's a few people that's obviously looking at him, and to be honest, to me, he looks like he doesn't even. He's not in terms of he doesn't understand how we play, especially in that right hand side when he's got Tav going forward and he's trying to fill it. To me, he looks as if he's all over the place. I'm sure he's a really nice midfield player, but he's trying to learn how our style of play. Then when you start looking at, bringing Morelos in, are we just trying to put minutes on his leg to try and get him ready for Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. Have we underestimated the opposition today? That's my question to you guys.
Colbert?
I don't think we underestimated them. I mean, Stephen Gerrard, before a ball was kicked, his interview at the beginning of the game came out with a 20-minute thing about they'll be up for it, blah, blah, blah. So we didn't underestimate them. We just didn't play. What's happening? It's all about us. It's not about any team we've played so far. It's all about us. We're no performing. Now, there's a reason for it. Or there might be more than one reason for it. Now, we need to work that reason out. We've all got different opinions why we're not playing well. But my opinion is that Lundstrom's one big problem. He needs to get taken out of the team for a start and told, you need to up your game, son. Watch us when we're playing well, and we want you to fit into that system. Can you do it? But at the moment, there's a lot of players not playing well, and it's just a fact of life. There are a lot of players not playing well. Weekend's not playing well. Wright's starting to come on again, but the boy needs to believe in himself. Like the day, if he had believed in himself, he'd have burst into that area instead of trying to hit balls into nobody in the middle of the park. You're in the middle of the area. You're hitting the ball in there for some. There's nobody in there. You just drive into the area, make them tackle you, take them on, dribble in the area. But things like that. But Kamara's he's trying to be super, super cool. Now, he's a cool guy and he's a really good player. But come on, son, there is times that you just play the simple ball. There is a time when the ball just comes to you and you move out of line quickly. Especially to Barisic, he keeps holding the ball that wee bit extra and no feeding Barisic right away. You're going, just feed him right away. Now that's Barisic's responsibility to get up the wing and get the ball in accurately. But you're not, if he's not getting the ball fast enough, he's getting closed down. So you need to work on things like that. But the sloppiness is the big thing, and that tells me minds are no in the game. Now that Dundee United just outfought us today. Let's get it straight. They deserve to win. We didn't deserve to win. Just on the fact that they outfought us, no outplayed us, outfought us. Now we're going to have this in every single game this season. Now, we need to understand that. And if these players are not up for it, please tell Gerrard I'm not up for this. Right, okay, we'll need to get you moved along and get players in who are up for it. And I'm including the young boys here. If the young boys are up for it, get them in the team. Because I'll tell you right now, there's a few in that team that are not up for it. For whatever reason, contracts, they're not confident, whatever it is, they're not up for it. So you're sitting going, our goalkeeper doesn't make a save, but all he does is pick the ball out the net. And you're sitting going, and we get beaten the game. How did we get beaten the game when your keeper's no making saves? I mean, they're not pressing you. They're no ripping you apart. They're not playing brilliant football. We're causing it ourselves with sloppiness. Summed up perfectly with Goldstone on the line when he's letting the ball go out for a goal kick, and the guy keeps Clark. It was Clark. Just kept going and took the ball off him, and then tried to put it off him for a corner kick, and he mishit it and him through his legs. They never go to the corner. Now that's disgraceful. That there's no excuse for that. I mean, for me, if I was Gerrard and the manager of the coaching team, Connor Goldstone, no Connor Goldstone, I'd have took him in that dressing room and tore the tackle off him. I really would have, man. I'd have just slaughtered that guy for that. That's not acceptable, guys. I don't care who you are, your stature in the team or who you are. That's not allowed. That's simply not allowed.
Albert,
Sorry,
before
man.
I go,
I'm ranting now.
Before I go to Rudy and then Jordan, I mean, if you look at Ryan Kent today as well, he was dropping deep. He was coming because we just couldn't get the ball out to the wing. And when we did, they were doubling up. Sometimes even three players running about him. And it looked like he was just getting frustrated. I'm just wondering now the system, Rudy, that we're playing. And he hinted that we might have to change it. But he's not really changed it at the moment. It could be due to the fact we've got suspensions in Europe. Players are trying to get their fitness and stuff. But do you think it's something that we're going to have to look at?
Possibly. I mean, if you go back to Tuesday night, Southside, Ryan Kent was doing the same thing in that game. He was dropping 20, 25, 30 yards further down into the midfield. I don't want to see Ryan Kent there. That's no Ryan Kent's job. I want to see him on the front line running at that box and defenders. That's what I want to see. You saw him doing it again. I said it as soon as I come on the show today. He shouldn't be drawn. That's Lundstrom's job. But we've got Aribo back. That's Aribo got a bit of time now on the park. Hopefully Hadji's fit for Tuesday night. Alfie's played today. Alfie had a couple of chances. A sharper Alfie, I think, would have put one of them away. So there's three players that should be in contention for Thursday night, because the way we're playing, certainly in the last two games, it's no clicking. It's whatever they're doing or whatever is in their heads, and the way they're playing isn't really clicking. And we lost the game today the same way we lost it on last Tuesday night, Southside, is we lost it in the midfield. Forget about the calamity defending and stuff. Well, no, don't forget about that, because that happened. I mean, there's 3 goals lost in 2 games through just atrocious defending. But the midfield is where you win and lose games. I say this constantly all the time. That's where you win and lose games. Last season, we had so little chance. We gave teams so little chances to score against us in the league because the midfield worked so well last season. For what I've saw it this season, it's not working. So they're going to have to do something else Southside. They're going to have to try something different.
I think now we can hear the manager's reaction for the day's game, mate.
Okay, bud.
Well, if you've got yourselves in mute.
Okay.
Stephen, obviously a disappointing result this afternoon. Can you just give us your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, look, we're disappointed, obviously. It's not the result we came here or the performance we were looking for, so that's on me and that's on us as a group. These boys have took me on an incredible run, but to do that we've been really high level with being top and unbreakable almost. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case today. I don't think going forward we've created enough within the game. At the same time, I don't think we deserve to lose the game, but you'd always put yourself in that position for one breakaway or that little lucky deflection like they got, and the kids put the goal away really well. So it's on us, and we'll have to accept it. We'll have to, suck the pain up and get them ready for the next 3 days.
And it did come out strong in the second half and had a few chances just before they managed to get that breakthrough.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in the first half. We had some really decent breakaways, but we, with our crossing, we kept it in the first man, and we weren't spiteful enough for our passes. We didn't create enough in the first half, but at the same time, we didn't look like conceding either. Second half, we've played with more control. The majority of the game's been played in Dundee's half, but there's no point getting there if you can't find that quality or that invention to go and hurt teams. So I'm disappointed in our quality in the final third, and at 0-0 at places like this, you'd always run that risk of them scoring against the run of play. So that's how it was. And
what can you take away from this game going forward this season?
Not much, because we haven't got the results or the performance we were looking for. We have to take that responsibility. It's my job to pick the boys up now. We've got no time to feel sorry for ourselves. We'll have to accept what's coming our way in the next 24-48 hours and get them ready for Tuesday night, which is possibly the biggest game we've had together as a group. So I've got a job on my hands the next 48 hours for sure.
And you touch on that game, it's obviously a huge game on Tuesday night, and is it a case of just regrouping and refocusing in the next 48 hours?
Yeah, always. Look, every time you face a bump or a setback or you get a bad result, today's a bad result, I accept that, but it's an opportunity to reset, regroup, and we'll analyse it. We'll speak to the players individually, collectively, and come kick off, I'll have to have them ready to go and put in a top performance, because the level of the last two performances won't be enough, that's for sure.
Interesting thoughts here for the manager. I think he summed it up pretty well. I think we'll need to raise our game, need to raise the levels. You'll need to pick a team that he thinks is going to go out and perform for the 90 minutes with enough fitness in them. What do you think of that, Jordan? Oh, who's that? Is that you, Andy?
Aye.
Aye, what's your thoughts, Andy?
Absolutely disgusted with the performance, to be honest. Just to pick up a few points, a few people have put. Lundstrom, I thought, was absolutely diabolical. I thought the desire of the whole team wasn't to the standard that we've seen the past last season anyway. But I wanted to make a point, just like there's only been one game that's really opened my eyes this season, was the Real Madrid game. That we looked good, Kent looked good because it was higher up the park. Real Madrid didn't have, they had a great team, not a great team out, but they had a decent enough team out. But from then, I've not been impressed with any of the games after that whatsoever. So there is definitely something, there's something not right, and it really is. It is worrying me. It's worrying a little bit, and I would like to ask you guys if you think that we play like this, play the way we played today on Tuesday, will we progress? What do you think about that?
No that performance, Andy. I agree with what you're saying. I think the Real Madrid game was the best team sort of performance we've put in. I think you get a bit more time on the ball against a European opposition than you do in Scotland. But I'll go to Albert in that, and then go to Rudy a bit and see what they think. But I think the Real Madrid game has been the best performance for the team collectively.
Hi, Andy. Listen, see what you're saying about there's something wrong. You're 100% right, mate. There is something wrong. Whether it's a few things or one thing in particular, I don't know, but there is something wrong, and he needs to sort it. He's already saying that himself. He needs to get in there and lift them. So whatever it is, I don't know, but you're right. And the question you're asking about, will we win again Tuesday playing like that? No chance, mate. No chance.
I don't think so either.
So that right now, we know that. The players should know that. The management team know that. So what we're going to do, We can't just turn up, roll up with Ibrox with all going off or not, and stick a performance like that in, because it's not going to work. It's simply the crowd will turn on them. They'll go like, look, we don't mind getting beat. Getting beat's part of football. That's okay, right? I don't like it, don't want it, but it's part of football. It's how you get beat. And the day was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic, by the way.
Yeah, and as you can see,
sorry, mate.
Sorry for interrupting you there.
No, you're right.
What I'm worried about is, as I say, that like the performance on against Malmo. All right, they're well in front of it. They've played so many games in the league and stuff like that. But you want a response after that game the other night, and to come to Tannadice, you were expecting a better performance, but it was the same, if no worse. So that's how I'm saying there is a problem somewhere. There is a problem.
Well, it's easy to say that there's one, Andy. Wait a minute, Andy. It's easy to say there's one problem. It could be more than one problem. Now, the common denominator for me is Lundstrom. He's the common denominator, but
Absolutely.
I don't think it's just. I just don't think it's him. It's just no him.
No.
Lundstrom doesn't make Kent no play well, or Abel no play well, or
shambolic defending, Albert,
or shambolic defending. I think it's a few things, Andy. Sorry, mate, go for it.
I think looking at the performance today, right, Lundstrom can be a standout for a lot of people, right, just because of the performance. But he's not the only one today.
No,
I mean, so. When we're talking about
performance,
I'll say it you, Rudy, and then Jordan. It's mate. It's Kent. Pick Maestrom. You could at least pick 8 players a day. They were well after their game, you know.
And that's why Stephen Gerrard came out after the game on Tuesday and said 6 or 7 of them. Because he was right, there was 6 or 7 of them had to pick their game up after that, because it certainly was good enough.
There was just one more thing I wanted to ask these guys.
With Tav, I mean,
Andy, let him finish first.
I thought Tav was dreadful the day Southside, and Barisic was just as bad. You know, mere comedy defending. You'd have thought they'd have got that out of their system on Tuesday night. Well, there it was on full display again. It was back to a couple of seasons ago, you know, with the comedy defending at times, you know.
Aye, we'll say the start of the show, that was a tried and trusted defence.
Aye, Lundstrom's going to be the whipping boy, so yeah, it's because he's new. But some of the other boys in that team as well, Southside, they have to take a look at themselves. All the blame can't just go on Lundstrom, you know.
Jordan, what do you think, pal?
I agree with most of what you are saying. I don't think you can judge the team on 2 games, though. I think, you know, it's going to take a few more games to get the fitness levels up to where everyone is. But I think if we're still in the same position, let's say, give it another 6 or 7 games, and they might be winning, but we're still kind of seeing the same mentality, then you've got to start asking questions. I still think it's a bit too early just now, but I understand where a lot of people's worries are coming from. And obviously, you know, listen to the gaffer's comments. You know, we can't feel sorry for ourselves at the end of the day. We need to pick ourselves up. No point going to Ibrox for a full crowd on Tuesday night, sort of party atmosphere, right behind the team, roaring them on, and then they're going to a performance that they've done against today. It's not worth it at the end of the day. So I don't think there's any more excuses anymore. I think they know what they've got to do. They can't just blame one player and run from plays a team, they lose a team, they win as a team, they draw as a team at the end of the day. That's my perspective on it. We just need to buck up their ideas. I just got on at the end of the day.
I think the problem with that is, Jordan, if you're talking about 6 or 7 games, you could be talking about us being out of Europe. If we don't get this together quickly and get it, you know, start.
I was thinking they're so weak.
Aye, of course, aye.
I think we've got to agree there's some players at different levels of fitness, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alfie coming in to get some game time today. But it was just an overall poor performance. I thought they were right in again. They were right up against us. They played a high tempo press on us, and we just didn't do our usual settle down, get the passing. We did. See, if you probably look at possession, I've not really looked at it, but you could probably look at possession of the game, and we'll probably have most of it.
Aye.
You know, it's a bit mirrored like the Malmo game, where there wasn't much of muchness in the first half. We gave the ball away, we played poor. They gave us a wee bit of pressure, hardly a shot and goal. Their goalkeeper never did a save, their goalkeeper never did a save. Came out second half, we'd have had 2 minutes. Then we just go. They got a deflection. The boy just chased the ball in and they've scored. It's how you react after it. We tried. Thing we come on. I thought, right, come on, look busy. I think you'll probably merit a start maybe on Tuesday. That's my opinion. So things will need to change, but we're still looking for fitness. It's a slow result today, but we're still trying to get a team.
The fitness is right, aye. But hold on, but wait a minute. The fitness is fine. I agree with you there, South. Absolutely, 100% agree with you there. But what I don't agree with is the fighting spirit. Now, if you're no fit, you're no fit. But there's nothing to stop you keeping on trying and fighting. And now, I've only seen the fighting spirit, apart from McLaughlin, never done today, for Helander, for Tav, for Davis, and for Aribo at times. The rest of them were going through the motions. Alfie's got an excuse. He's no fit. That's his first game. You've got to cut him a bit of slack here. But the rest of them are going through the motions. They need to start. If you're not playing well, make yourself a nuisance. That's what I get taught in football. Because you can't play every game brilliantly. But what you can do is, if you're not playing well, get involved in it. Make yourself a nuisance. Make space for other people. Give other people a chance. But just don't stand with your finger up your trumpet going, oh, I'm not playing well, I'm fed up. No, I mean, get involved in the bloody game.
Mobile voicemail service. The person you're calling is unable to...
And that's the thing that is concerning me. It's been concerning me since it's actually been concerning me for the Tranmere game. I said it at the Tranmere game. I'm not accepting that performance. That's mince. That's just mince. And it's the attitude I was talking about. Now, it's went from attitude to sloppiness as well. So one follows the other in my book, and we've allowed it to happen. Now we need to reverse it.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, but carry on, Rudy. Go for it, Rudy.
Sorry, bud. I was going to mention the Tranmere game as well, just when you said that, and I was thinking about that. This is the same performance we saw in the Tranmere game too. And I get the fitness thing. I totally get that. Matt Sharpness thing as well and all the rest of it. But look, where is the team that played against Real Madrid? They played so well. We were all so excited.
Rudy, we've got a caller in. This will be the last caller, I think, just before we're wrapping the show up. Hi, pal. What's your name?
Hi there. Mitchell.
Hi, Mitchell. How you doing, pal?
Very disappointed after say. I've got COVID as well, so it's
I'm going to have well, 2 with COVID, mate. I might catch it.
What did you think of that, Mitchell, today, pal?
Well, if they want to win 56, then they've got to do something a little bit better than that. I mean, the pace, it was lethargic. I mean, John Lundstrom and Sakala and Morelos, these 3 players for me, we should have got 10 million for Morelos, sold him and brought in a proper striker, someone that's going to put the passion into that Rangers badge. Because for me, Morelos just thinks he's got that shirt, and I know he's not match fit, and I get the rustiness, but he just doesn't look up for it for me. It was such a poor performance, and if the players turned up to Tannadice today thinking it was going to be a stroll in the park, I knew them that they'd get in the faces today. It just looked confusing to me.
That's the worrying thing for me, Mitchell. We were going to lose a game at some point. As simple as that. We couldn't keep winning or not being defeated forever in the league. So at some point we were going to lose a game. But it was a manner of the defeat the day that bothers me the most. Had they been hitting the crossbar 3 times and hitting the post, and John McLaughlin was pulling off fantastic saves all over the place, and we were doing the same thing, and it was just a great game of football to watch, and we just happened to lose it by a worldie of a goal, you can hold your hands up and say, okay, then fair enough. But it was a manner of the defeat the day, Mitchell, that pissed me off, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you. I mean, John Lundstrom, I heard someone earlier say about the pace, is it too quick in Scotland? I don't particularly think that's true, because like when I see the likes of Mane and Salah, they are totally different to like Nicky Clark and players like that, with no disrespect. But I just think, I'm not sure with Lundstrom. I'm obviously, with me being a Leeds United supporter here in England, I've seen him play a few times, Championship and the Premier League. And I've never really rated him personally. It was a bit of a shock when he was brought into Rangers and given the number 4 shirt, which is obviously a first team number, because I think there's much better options in that Rangers squad. than Lundstram, and I think it was a signing for me that showed a lack of ambition. To say that Rangers were going into the Champions League this season, I think it's now time to take that next step up if they want to make that next push for me.
Right.
That's a fair point.
Aye, Mitchell. I agree 100%, pal.
Yeah.
It was just a massive poor performance for a lot of the players. Lundstram, I wasn't too sure at first when he first came, but I just think now he's going to have to show it. You know, he's going to have to show it. Well, guys, I'm sorry, but that's the end of the show. It's got to that time of the evening, so just quickly run round. Albert, your thoughts just to end the show on the performance.
I don't want to harp on about it, but I'm forgot about this, and I'm on it Tuesday now. They need to bring their A game to Tuesday. Bring your A game to Tuesday, and if you've no got it, don't come on Tuesday.
Rudy?
I mean, the day's gone now. That's it. There's nothing can be done about today now, Southside. That's it, you know. And as I said there just now to Mitchell, it's the manner of the defeat today. It's not so much a defeat. Getting beat's never a good thing, but it's the manner of the defeat. But as Albert says, it's on to Tuesday now. They need to get their heads right. They need to be totally up for it, because if they play like they did today, they ain't going through on Tuesday, so they need to sort it out between now and Tuesday.
Right, okay, guys. Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank everybody that called in this evening. Mitchell,
thanks for having us.
No worries, Carol, Rudy, George EK, Jordan, Bear and Andy. I'd like to thank you all, Bear, as well, for joining us on the show. The show will be back on Monday, where it'll be on from the normal time, 8 to 10, where you'll be joined by GB, myself and the Bridgeman will be on Monday. So I'd like to thank everyone. And I'd like to thank Old School Blue and Fox for doing the technicals in the background. So take it away, Old School Blue.
Aye, thanks, guys.
They come from all of Glasgow, they come from near and far. They come from every Highland glen, from here to Lochnacar. They sail from dear old Belfast to the bonny banks of Clyde. They gather round to Timeless Park and loudly sing with pride. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I'll set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue of Ibrox, aye, the Scotland's very best. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I'll set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue of Ibrox, aye, the Scotland's very best. Richie Shearer, Robin, John Craig, McKinnon too. There's Baxter, Henderson, George McLean, they proudly wear the blue. There's Miller, Brandon, Wilson, what better could you want? Plus 70,000 Rangers fans that proudly sing this chant. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I'll set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue, the Ibrox, aye, the Scotland's very best. Richie Shearer, Robin, John Craig, McKinnon too. There's Baxter, Henderson, George McLean, they proudly wear the blue. There's Miller, Brandon, Wilson, what better could you want? Plus 70,000 Rangers fans that proudly sing this chant. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, I'll set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E and R-N-S. The boys in blue of Ibrox, aye,